The night had fallen, casting the city into a dimly lit labyrinth of shadows and echoes. I zipped up my jacket, the chilly air biting through the fabric as I carried the KFC delivery bags through the deserted streets. The order was for a customer in an old, dilapidated building on the outskirts of town, a place with an unsettling reputation that sent shivers down my spine. As I approached the address, the building loomed like a forgotten relic, its windows shattered and its walls stained with the passage of time. A flickering streetlight cast an eerie glow on the cracked pavement below. I hesitated for a moment, my instincts warning me of the ominous atmosphere, but the promise of a generous tip urged me to continue. I climbed the creaking stairs, each step groaning beneath my weight. The air inside the building was heavy, with an unsettling stillness, broken only by the distant hum of electricity. The hallway on the third floor was dimly lit, the flickering lights casting long, distorted shadows that danced on the peeling wallpaper. Room 333. The KFC order was destined for this ominous room. I stood before the door, the silence amplifying the pounding of my heart. I knocked hesitantly, the sound echoing through the desolate corridor. No response. I knocked again, a bit louder this time, my nerves on edge. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a dimly lit room. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and a chill crept up my spine. I pushed the door open further, revealing a room frozen in time. A single chair sat in the center of the room, facing away from me. The flickering light revealed peeling wallpaper and dusty furniture, as if the room had been abandoned for decades. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the faint sound of static from an old television set in the corner. "Hello?" I called out, my voice barely audible in the stillness. No response. I took a cautious step inside, the floorboards groaning beneath my weight. As I approached the chair, a cold breeze swept through the room, extinguishing the flickering candle on the table. Panic surged through me as I fumbled for my phone, desperate for some source of light. The room seemed to come alive with shadows, twisting and contorting in the dim light. I could feel eyes on me, a sensation that sent shivers down my spine. I turned to leave, but the door slammed shut with a force that seemed to defy reason. Panic set in as I fumbled with the doorknob, my breaths coming in shallow gasps. The room felt different now, charged with an unsettling energy. I turned back to the chair, half expecting to see a spectral figure, but it remained empty. The television in the corner flickered to life, casting an eerie glow on the room. Grainy images danced across the screen, distorted faces and twisted figures that seemed to materialize from the static. A guttural whisper emerged from the television, sending a chill down my spine.
"Welcome, delivery boy."
I stumbled backward, my mind reeling with fear. The room seemed to warp and twist, its walls closing in on me. The television continued its haunting display, the whispers growing louder and more insistent. In a desperate bid to escape, I lunged for the door, my hands shaking as I tried to pry it open. The flickering lights overhead intensified, casting long, distorted shadows that seemed to reach out for me. The whispers in the room coalesced into a chorus, a cacophony of disembodied voices that echoed through the desolate space. They spoke of hunger and regret, of a presence that lingered in the shadows, and of a darkness that sought to consume. As the voices reached a fever pitch, the room plunged into darkness. The only source of light was the television, its haunting display casting distorted shapes on the walls. I felt a presence behind me, a cold breath on the back of my neck that sent a shiver down my spine. I turned around slowly, my heart pounding in my chest. Before me stood a figure, an ethereal form with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through my soul. It extended a bony hand, beckoning me closer with a skeletal finger. In that moment, terror consumed me. I pushed past the figure, rushing towards the door with a newfound determination. The voices in the room rose to a crescendo, a symphony of haunting whispers that followed me as I fought to escape. With a final, desperate push, the door swung open, revealing the dimly lit corridor beyond. I stumbled into the hallway, the door slamming shut behind me. The building seemed to exhale a sigh of resignation, the oppressive energy dissipating with my escape. I ran down the stairs, my footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. As I burst through the front door, the cold night air greeted me like a breath of freedom. I didn't look back, my only desire to distance myself from that accursed building. The rain had ceased, leaving the streets glistening under the moonlight. I clutched the KFC delivery bags tightly, the warmth of the food a stark contrast to the chilling encounter I had just endured. The memory of that night lingered, a delivery to a room frozen in time, haunted by whispers and spectral figures. The ominous room, with its ancient television and unsettling energy, became a place forever etched in my nightmares. And as I continued my deliveries through the city, I couldn't shake the feeling that something otherworldly lurked in the shadows, hungry for the presence of those who dared to enter its domain.